Hello and welcome to another Mordian Mondays. This is episode 68. And this week, guys, I've been working on some more Orksies, so it should really be a Morkian Mondays. That joke will never get old. Well, it won't for me. Anyway, so yeah, I've been working on the mob of my orcs. For those of you that don't know, I recently got gifted some orcs for Christmas. I got a start collecting set and then sort of treated myself before the lockdown to the special edition orc model, and then for my birthday, my amazing fiance got me a box of flash kits. So the orc train is fully in motion, and I had 10 orc boys just because I have a problem with buying stuff I don't collect sometimes. So there was a while ago I got a problem. First step is acknowledging it. But yeah, so actually I've got a reasonably sized orc collection. I think with the flash kits box, I'm now comfortably breaking the 500 point mark, which is pretty cool. So this is my second mob of 11 boys, because it's 10. It's weird working in not multiples of 10, because you get 11 models in an orc box. So this is my mob of 11 boys, 11 lads, and I've got one knob and 10 regular old mateys. And the way I've done them is, in terms of what weapons I gave them, not a lot of thought went into it. I went half slugger, half shooter, and then I gave the knob a power claw and a slugger. There are many ways better of probably equipping your orc boy squad than this. Maybe going half and half isn't the right thing to do, but I've always had this, I'm not sure, maybe it goes against the fluff, but I've always had this idea in my head that orcs don't really band together in regimented mobs of dedicated shooter or dedicated slugger and chop boy. Maybe they do, but I've always kind of felt that orcs just have whatever weapon they have, and they just sort of, some will have shooters in a mob and some will have slugger and choppers in a mob, and there's no real coordination. They just sort of mob together, and some will be shooting and then hitting with the gun, and some will be, trying to shoot with the axe and then hitting with the gun. But you know what I mean? So I like to try and mix it. Another thing is you never know, right now slugger chopper might be the thing, but you never know with the way the editions go and with books go. Before you know it, slugger shooters become the next hot thing. So yeah, I just thought, you know what, let's just get half and half and just not worry about it, because this is the way with orcs. You don't worry about it. You just build and paint stuff, and if it turns out to be good, then that's great, and if it doesn't, then that's also great, because you're just having fun with orcs. So they're very cathartic. For those of you that are feeling a little burned out, I would say, maybe from the crazy mad sleigh ride, which is 9th edition, with FAQs getting FAQ'd and them still not catching free plasma pistols. My God, quality control of that company. Anyway, I would definitely say, if you're getting a little bit burned out on your serious faction, on your main faction, which I imagine for many of us is Imperial Guard, honestly, just consider orcs. Even if it's just for a moment, just consider them. Don't even look at them tactically. Just think about them. They are very cathartic. I have no plan for this army, which is very unusual for me. With my guard and with other armies, it's always been, okay, I'm going to get this and this, and then I build the list together and it makes this, blah blah blah, and then it will be competitive and it will be edition proof, and I'll have 2,500 points of it, so that if anything shifts, I can swap one thing out and put another thing in. It's all very well planned out. I do that with my Steel. Did that with my Steel Legion. Did it to a certain extent with my Mordians. I was planning, okay, I'm going to put this many choppy squads together, this many shooty squads together, have this many officers, blah blah blah. And with the orcs, I've literally just gone, yeah, it'll happen when it happens. I will just collect what is essentially, whatever people buy me for birthdays and Christmases. I'll just collect that, and that's just what I'll have. And if it turns out to be fun, and that's great. And if it turns out to be competitive, crazy, that's just the will of the universe at that point. Because with this army, I'm literally letting go of the wheel and just letting the gods drive, or God, or Odin, whichever you guys, individually believe in. But yeah, and it is nice. It is nice not overthinking things. It's nice not overly investing, just going with the flow. So yeah, I definitely, and orcs are perfect army to do that with, because that it embodies their entire nature as a faction. You know, people who complain about orc boy models being woefully out of date don't really get it, because orc players don't really care that their models are out of date, because they're just here collecting just whenever they wake up in the morning and feel like collecting. It's the ultimate just laissez-faire, don't worry about it. And I know several orc players which are like me with the current guard model, which is like, well, they're so flexible and convertible right now that I kind of don't want them to update the models. It's really, yeah, definitely, especially with this, moving away from orc second and moving into guard, because this is a guard channel at the end of the day. I suppose I have to talk about what my, I suppose I have to address my core audience at some point. I know a lot of people are really hoping for a new guard kit. Me personally, I'm not really hoping for one, and that is entirely selfish. Entirely selfish. I'm not going to dress it up anyway, but say I don't really want one, because for a number of reasons. Okay, firstly, I have a lot of the Orcadians, and they sort of blend in with my regular Mordians, but not really. The regular ones are slightly smaller and everything. So if a new guard kit came along, it would be a bit, not am I gonna, my old army, it instantly makes your old army look a bit out of date. But that's an entirely selfish reason, and I hold my hands up and accept that, and realise that is not very, community friendly. So if we did get new models, I think it would be really good for getting new guard players into the faction, which is great. And from another sort of selfish point of view, that's great for me, because obviously more guard players equals more people in this community, which is better for the channel. So it swings and roundabouts really. So actually, I'm not too bothered either way about a guard kit. But from a selfish point of view, from a modelling point of view, okay, getting to the real reason, I am really concerned with some of the with the monopose kits that Games Workshop basically releases now. So I've had some experience with the monopose kits recently, just playing around with them, and the conversion opportunities are few and far between. You can do it, you can, of course, you can convert anything if you think hard enough about it and you try hard enough, but it's not as easy. It's not as easy. Certain arms have to go in certain places, and if they don't, then your model ends up just not fitting together. So I don't know why Games Workshop do this. Maybe it's to stop people from buying third-party bits, but that's just such a weird way of looking at it. So I'll just say, yeah, that's my only concern. That is my only concern, and I definitely want that to be taken into account. If there is going to be a new guard kit, I think it should be made very customizable. If Games Workshop are worried about leaving money on the table for other companies like Anvil Industries, then release your own upgrade sprue. I love Anvil Industries. I think they're a fantastic company which make lots and lots of awesome bits for Games Workshop. Well, for many models, but especially like sort of Guardsman conversions. But at the same time, if Games Workshop released an upgrade sprue, which had, it was £8. There's two ways of doing it. You either have £8 for each regiment, like they have now with the Space Marines, and it comes with 10 heads or 11 heads. Give us a bit of variety, and the new and the relevant shoulder pads. So I would, if there was to be a new Guardsman kit, I would have it where it doesn't come with big Cadian shoulder pads. Everyone gets the same body armor and the same trousers, and the same lasguns. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But the way you would make it so you could add on these upgrade sprues is that the basic kit doesn't come with any shoulder pads. Fine, like whatever. A lot of people don't like the big bulky Cadian shoulder pads, and that would serve some people. But then your upgrade sprue would be, Mordian shoulder pads and Mordian heads, gas mask heads, and for Steel Legion the little lightning bolt symbol. That would be cool, right? So you can have a lightning bolt symbol that can be glued on where the shoulder pads should be. That would be awesome. At Rylands you've got the Ushanka hats, and you could have like a little fur trim that goes around the shoulders. That would be cool. There's loads of ways you could do it. I'm trying to go through each regiment now. So, Cadian you could keep, with the helmets and whatever. Catachan, just have a load of people with Rambo heads. Just with they wouldn't have any helmets, obviously, and that would get rid of the massive bulky arm look. They could have normal arms, but you give them the Rambo heads, or the Catachan kit contained. Maybe that could be a tenner instead of £8 or something. And the Catachan kit would contain a full set of arms, a full extra set of arms. Maybe you could do that. There's loads of things you could do. Cadians, Catachans, Mordians, Destroyers, Steel Legion, Valhallans, Talan, easy, isn't it? You just don't give them any shoulder pads, and they get a sort of what's it called? It's got what do they call it? It's like a face wrap anyway. You know what I mean? Mine's gone blank. But yeah, it'd be pretty easy, and that's how I'd do it if I was the old GW. I would, update the current kit, but I wouldn't completely overhaul it. Or you do keep the old kit, but you release a whole new regiment range essentially. So I have heard rumours of there's going to be a plastic Death Corps Krieg kit. Now that was originally scheduled for summer this year, but obviously there's been lots of delays, so it might not be till later. And it's only a rumour, guys. It's only a rumour. It's a pretty reliable rumour, but it's only a rumour. My theory, if you're here for the big conspiracy theory, all you QAnon people are nomading around. If you trying to find a new place to settle down, please don't settle here. But my conspiracy theory is with the Death Corps Krieg stuff is Games Workshop has Legends a lot of stuff, and they have taken a lot of kits out of production because the current kits are in resin and they couldn't keep up with Chinese recasters, which is fair enough. Chinese recasting, I think you could get a Death Corps Krieg kit for squad from anywhere from like £6 to £13, depending on what quality you wanted. Some of the quality could be from what I've seen going around the old interwebs was very, very it's better than Forge World stuff. And or you could buy it from Forge World Direct and spend £45-50 on a squad. So they were just hemorrhaging money on the Krieg stuff. But what if they were like, right, we need to beat these recasters. We can't lower our own costs in that way. We can't do it. We just don't have the capacity to do that, or we're not willing to do that. It's like, okay, how else do we fight this monstrosity that is recasters? Okay, well, most people still buy GW plastic kits if they're not buying Forge World stuff. So let's make a new plastic kit. Okay, but if we make a new plastic kit and people can still get the stuff from China cheaper, they'll still get it from China cheaper. How do we deal with this? Okay, let's just absolutely nerf Krieg into the ground and get rid of half of the models so that the demand for them just dries up. Okay, just dries up. Okay, and then we'll leave it for 6 months to a year so that there's no real main, because I would say that Krieg are one of the main drivers for recasters, definitely. So they leave it for they'll leave it for 6 months to a year, and then Games Workshop executives go, okay, here's a new Death Corps Krieg kit. It's in plastic. Okay, it's brand new. No one wants to buy the old models, right? No, you don't want to buy the old models from China. You want to buy the new, updated, awesome, really high detailed. And guess what? It's a plastic kit. And guess what? It's a new Guardsman kit, and you can buy it from Games Workshop. It's more convenient. You don't have to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or however long it takes to come from China. You know it's going to be good quality because it's coming from us. It's a new kit, so it's better. And Games Workshop will they'll just crush it. So I know there's a lot of merging in and out of first and third person of that analysis, but that is my conspiracy. That is my theory. And maybe I'll be right, maybe I'll be wrong. And they'll release new Krieg kits, and they'll release a new Guard Codex, and Krieg will be one of the stronger regiments in there. And all will be good with the world. That's one way of doing it. Or, like I said, release a generic guardsman kit that you can just release a bunch of extra head swaps for, because a guardsman kit with head swaps looks way better than a regular guardsman kit. So there's two ways they can make money, and either way on that they could charge 30 quid. You know, either £22 plus your 8 quid upgrade sprue, or 30 quid for your box of guardsmen. You know, box of your brand new 10 Kriegers. Either way, you could charge between 20 and 30 pounds for that, or do both. You know, what did Games Workshop do with the Genestealer Cultists? They've got the regular neophytes, and then they had the Broodbrother neophytes. Yeah, I mean, if I had to sit down, you know, and beg Games Workshop how to do it, I'd say keep the Broodbrother neophyte kits around, because it allows those of us who like the old kit to still do it, and it's also a really good alternative for the Genestealer Cult themselves. Anyway, let's wrap this video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What do you think about my conspiracy theory? What do you think about the old Orkies? What have you guys been working on? I love reading comments about other people's hobby projects. It inspires me to get on with my own hobby stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.